In distributed systems, things fail. You write to a database and then you try to notify another system. Maybe by publishing an event to Kafka or sending a HTTP request or invalidating a cache or calling a webhook. But only one of them succeeds. Now your system is in an inconsistent state. That's the classic dual write problem that occurs when you try to do two or more side effects without a reliable coordination mechanism. In this video, we will discuss a battle-tested solution to it, the outbox pattern. We'll go deep into what it is, why distributed transactions are not the answer, and how to implement outbox pattern using Polar or CDC. Now let's start the video with a real-world situation. Let's say you are building a service where users can place orders. So once an order is placed, your service has to do two things. First, it has to save the order in a table orders in the database, and then it has to send an event to Kafka. For that, you have to write code like this. So this is to save the order in the orders table, and this is to send the Kafka event. It seems pretty simple, right? But dual write problem begins here. Let's say your database write is successful. So your order data is successfully committed to the database. But your service crashes right before sending the event to Kafka. So now your system has an order, but nobody knows about it. Your inventory service cannot update, your notification service cannot send confirmation. That's the classic dual write problem, where you try to do two or more writes to different systems, but only one of them succeeds while the others fail silently. And it's not just Kafka, it can be a HTTP endpoint, a cache, a webhook, a payment processor, anything. The main problem is that they are not part of the same transaction. Then why don't we use it using distributed transaction? For example, 2PC or two-phase commit protocol. In theory, 2PC coordinates multiple systems like database, message broker into a single atomic commit. But here's the reality. Most modern systems like Kafka, S3 or Stripe do not support distributed transactions. Secondly, it requires taking cross-system locks and then committing the transaction, leading to possible performance degradation. Also, 2PC introduces tight coupling to the system, which can lower the availability. So, for these reasons, 2PC might not be the solution that we are looking for. Here comes outbox pattern, which is the battle-tested solution of dual write problem without involving distributed transactions. Here's how it works. Instead of sending event directly to Kafka, you insert it in a special table outbox events in the same database. So when an order is placed, your application has to write in the order table as well as this outbox events table in a single transaction. Now let's see the columns of the outbox events table. Okay, first is ID, which is the unique identifier of the event. Usually UUID. This ensures idempotency so that the downstream consumers do not process an event more than once. Next is event type, which is a label describing what happened. For example, order created or payment failed, etc. Next is aggregate ID. This refers to the entity the event is about. This is generally the foreign key of the domain object. Next is payload, which is the JSON string that contains the actual body of the message that we send to Kafka. It can contain information like order amount, item details, customer information, etc. Next is created at. This is the timestamp when the event got created. So this is populated with now or current timestamp. This is used for event ordering or monitoring lag, etc. Also, there can be some optional columns like retry count, published, etc., which are used for production grade implementation of outbox pattern. We will see how they are used when we see the implementation of outbox pattern. Now, your order table and your outbox events table are updated together in a single transaction. If this transaction fails, then neither is saved. If the transaction succeeds, then both are guaranteed to exist. Even if your service crashes right after these insertions, you don't need to worry. Your event is safely stored inside this table. Later, a background process, for example, Polar or CDC-based publisher or hybrid publisher, will read the event from outbox events table and send it to Kafka. So, instead of sending the event directly to Kafka, we are saving the fact in the database that we need to send it and then we handle it later. So in this way, a two-phase dual write turns into a safe single phase write followed by a safe async delivery. That's the magic of the outbox pattern. Now let's see how we can implement outbox pattern. The most simple way to implement outbox pattern is by using a Polar. It is a background job that checks outbox events table for unsent events. So this poller runs every few seconds and checks this outbox events table to get the events which are not published yet. Let's see a typical poller query. Select star from outbox events where published equals to false and retry count less than 5. For update skip lock limit 10. Let's break it down. First is published equals to false. This fetches the event which are not sent yet. Then retry count less than 5. This avoids retrying events which keep failing. Next is for update skip lock. This is very important. This ensures multiple pollers do not clash. That is, one poller handles a row at a time. This is used to lock the rows for processing and to avoid the rows which are locked by other poller instances. This prevents multiple workers to work on the same event at the same time. It ensures safe parallel polling without race condition or duplication of work. Now, once the Kafka event is sent successfully, we mark it as published equals to true. And if it fails, then we increase the retry count. So this polling based approach is simple, reliable, and it works even when we are not using Kafka to push on HTTP endpoints, queues, or notification systems. But with a poller, we are continuously checking the outbox events table for new events. In small scale system, that works perfectly fine. But in production, it introduces real issues. First, there's load on database. So your poller is continuously checking the outbox events table for new unsent event even when there is no new event. So this scales poorly. And then it introduces latency. Even if an event is written now, your poller might take few seconds to take that up. And this lag adds up to user facing flows like notification, payment, or fraud detection. And this is where CDC shines. CDC, or change data capture, reads the write ahead log, or that is the internal transaction log of the databases. So when your application writes to orders and outbox events tables in the single transaction, CDC sees that immediately as part of database's commit stream, and then it streams directly to Kafka without querying the table. This is very important, that CDC is not querying the table, it is directly streaming the event from the log to Kafka. So there is no database load and near zero latency. Also, CDC tools like Debezium use event logs. So they ensure event ordering, they ensure durability, and they handle failover cleanly. So CDC is very powerful, but still it has some problems. For example, operational overhead. So for CDC, you have to use Kafka Connect, Debezium, etc. So there's lots of moving parts. Next is lag under pressure. So if your database or Kafka is under pressure, then your connector will lag. Events will take few seconds or more to show up. Next is not all databases support CDC. So CDC requires access to write ahead log or bean log of the database, and your cloud service provider might not allow that. Next is it is difficult to test and debug. Because CDC is running outside your application, failures might get unnoticed until consumers start misbehaving. And finally, CDC is not enough by itself to coordinate all types of side effects. So CDC can reliably trigger side effects like publishing an event to Kafka because that event is stored in database and captured. For other kinds of side effects like sending a HTTP request or invalidating a cache, CDC can still help, but only if that is stored in database and there is a CDC consumer to work on that. CDC alone cannot perform these external calls. It can only capture data changes. Without a connector or consumer to work on the changes, CDC alone is not enough by itself to coordinate all types of side effects. So in short, poller based implementation can get your job done, but for a high scale, low latency, reliable system, CDC is the better, cleaner, and more production grade implementation of outbox pattern. But having said that, there are still situations where we can use polling. For example, low throughput systems like internal tools, or databases that do not support bean log access, or when you are not just publishing to Kafka, maybe you are sending a HTTP request, or you are calling a webhook, or invalidating a cache, things that CDC cannot capture. In such scenarios, polling is better than CDC. Also, if you want full control of retries or delays, so poller gives you total control at the cost of more work. So far we have discussed strengths and weaknesses of both poller and CDC, and we can say that it is better to combine both of them in a hybrid approach to have a safer and better solution. So in hybrid approach, we get best of the both worlds. So we get real-time delivery via CDC and a guaranteed failover via polling. So hybrid approach ensures that even if your CDC fails due to a lag or character issue, your Polar steps in to get the stuck events to make the system fault tolerant and production grade. So in this video, we have discussed dual write problem and how to solve it using outbox pattern. In theory, it's pretty simple, but in production, it can make or break your system depending on the implementation. So no matter whether you are using polling, CDC or hybrid approach, make sure you handle failover gracefully. That's it for today's video. If you have liked this video, please like and share this video. For more such content, please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. And if you have any suggestion, queries or feedback, please write it into the comment section. Thank you very much for your time.